Pop the top, it's time for a new video to drop. And today, I'm playing WWE 2K22 Universe mode, but you, my subscribers, draft my roster for me. That's right, I put on my community post on YouTube and asked for you all to draft for me here on today's video. So before we get into the draft, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button today because we're on the road to 100,000 subscribers and you can join in on the next draft that we do like this. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit that like button as well. Can we get 1,000 likes on this video in the first 24 hours? I think we can. Now, without further ado, let's jump into who y'all drafted first. Adam says Lance Storm, the most underrated Canadian performer of all time. Well, buddy, do I got bad news for you. Lance Storm is not in the game, so we're gonna move right on over to the next person who says the greatest wrestler of all time, John Cena. John Cena is the #1 draft pick in this draft. However, Jay says Dakota, aka Dakota Kai, Dakota Kai, should be automatically the first draft pick since she got released yesterday, which, by the way, I know a lot of y'all are gonna ask me how I feel about that, so real quick, just as a segue, you know, I think it's very awful that Dakota Kai got released, but I will say this, Evie about to take over the world because without a shadow of a doubt, Dakota Kai, Evie, whatever you know her as, is one of the best wrestlers in the world. So much love to Evie, hers and her family, if you will, during these times. But as we move on now, Legion Evo says Isaiah Swerve Scott is a main roster talent. And I absolutely agree with you. We're going to draft Isaiah Swerve Scott here today. Golden Gamer says you can't have a universe mode without drafting the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Jayhawk says, can Hector, aka Hector Flores, make his daddy proud by becoming an international or cruiserweight champion? Well, Jayhawk, I do apologize, but I don't have Hector downloaded, and I don't think I can just go on CC and grab him. I'm sorry, I can't do it. But Infamous Enigma says you gotta have a universe mode with the Samoan submission machine. You gotta have Samoa Joe, the current Ring of Honor television champion. Now Mason says we need Fiend Balor as the universe mode rolls on. Underground Temple says the real head of the table, the real tribal chief, Jacob Fatu. And once again, I'm sorry, but I can't go to CC for this draft, so we're not gonna be able to do that. But Hunter Chappell says the man that is simply better than the rest, and your simply better king, simply better, Aaron Matthews. And I just so happen to have Aaron Matthews made by Deontay DDJ downloaded on my save, so Aaron will be in the draft. We got to draft Brandon's favorite in 2K22, Sami Zayn. Is that Brandon's favorite in WWE 2K22? Did he say that? That's crazy. I mean, he is pretty dope to play as. If anyone can be in it, bring in Hector from My Rise. Again, I don't have him downloaded. Tag teamers, you tried to catch me slipping. You tried to get me to say that first name on the list. However, we ain't gonna say that name around these parts. We never will, we never will, we never will. But I will draft Pete Dunne for you. Now, Jay Jackson says, go ahead and draft the Samoan Bulldozer, Umaga. Let's go, bro. I'm excited to see Umaga in this one. Clip by Che says Cedric Alexander, as Gary the Goat. What are you talking about? But nevertheless, Cedric Alexander will be drafted here today. We're moving down now to Shiny Hands as they say they want Akira Tozawa with the ha. And as we're going to keep on going, Raw Man wants the Viper, the Apex Predator, the Legend Killer. Let's get Randy Orton going on in this draft. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and grab Randy Orton, while Universe Mode says Seth freaking Rollins and Becky Lynch should be in your draft, but I did say I only could take one, so I'm going to go ahead and take Seth Rollins. Then they said the next person is TS40 Xbox, and they say the one and only Intercontinental Champion, Ricochet. So we're going to go ahead and grab Ricochet on the roster as well. We then said Aaron Mason, Universe Mode, but you draft former Intercontinental Champions. Well, but I just needed one pick. However, I will put that down on the notes app and make sure that I go back to that idea here in the future. Boy 3240 says, ooh, let's go, do, Sami Zayn. But we already got Sami Zayn, so, you know, we already got you. The head of the table, the tribal chief, the puppet dog, Roman Reigns, the GOAT, says RGCB. So we're going to go ahead and grab Roman Reigns. Not sure if someone requested him before. Bring in Malachi Black. Again, that's a call. I can't really do that. I'm so sorry. We're going to keep moving on, though. They said Roman Reigns. Dakota Kai. We already got Dakota as well, Alfonso. Better Brandon says, got to have a little Stone Cold. Got to have a little Stone Cold. Got to have a little Stone Cold Steve Austin. What? Oh, hell yeah. We're going to go ahead and grab Stone Cold Steve Austin. The king of the Royal Rumble, says Watkins. He says, draft Phoenix Nitro. Well, I can and I will and I shall draft Phoenix Nitro. Your royal ace, if you will. Flurry says to draft the Intercontinental Champion Ricochet. We already did that. You need to download Justin Danger, says Justin Corkins, and draft him. Well, I'm so sorry, buddy, but we can't bring Justin Danger into the universe mode because we're not downloading cards here today. Moving on, though, to Shock Chander, Roderick Strong. I'm afraid he'll be the next to go in a few months, but he ain't going to be the first to go on this one. As we go ahead and draft Roddy Strong, we got Charge Effin saying to draft Omos because he is the newest superstar from the DLC. Omos has a dope entrance, by the way. I don't know if y'all have seen that or not. Porcelain. Oh, my goodness. We on the porcelain. I'm surprised I don't have to draft Chris Black if I'm on the porcelain. Nevertheless, we're going to go ahead and grab Kevin Owens. Yes, sir. All right, moving on down. Skylar Smith says draft Paragon Jay Pierce for 1 year. Do I have Jay Pierce downloaded already? I believe I do, actually. I do actually have Jay Pierce downloaded. So Skylar Smith, you do get Jay Pierce. Nicholas says, please draft The Miz. So we're going to go ahead and draft The Miz and bring him on into the roster. Jayhawk says, or you can do what would happen if Umaga was to wrestle in this year roster, but we already got Umaga. Shadow says the underrated one, Biff Busick, a.k.a. Oni Lorcan. So let me go ahead and go to them O's and grab Oni Lorcan. Zen says the almighty Swaggle, but again, we can't grab cause. Moving on over, and we're going to go ahead and grab Drew McIntyre. That's right, we're going to go ahead and grab the Scottish Psychopath. Moving on down, the reigning, defending, undisputed WWE Heavyweight Champion of the world, Brock Lesnar. I know he's not champion, but I wanted to say it. Hey, I feel you. We'll go ahead and grab Brock Lesnar as well. Bring him on in. Hey, whoever y'all pick, you're going to go with The Undertaker, 2010 or 2002. Holla, holla, holla. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and draft Undertaker. I think that's Teddy Lung's burner account. You know what? We'll draft the 2010 one as well. I like the 2010 version. Elite Power Man, who's also a Brainwash Generation member. Make sure you click the join button down below to become a Brainwash Generation member here today. Helps you out a lot whenever you in the chat. You get a nice little emote as well. But Elite Power Man says the Rated R Superstar Edge needs to be drafted. So we're going to go ahead and draft the Rated R Superstar. Curry Wolf says, your favorite wrestler of all time, Chris Jericho. Well, Curry, that's not my favorite wrestler of all time. You have me sadly mistaken. My favorite wrestler of all time is Chris Hero, aka Cash Stono, but he ain't in the game, so I can't really draft that. And Chris Jericho ain't downloaded for me, I don't think. Is Chris Jericho downloaded for me? Oh, Chris Jericho is downloaded for me. We'll grab Chris Jericho for you, but he ain't my favorite wrestler of all time. Pick superstars based on the year they came into the company. Ray Davis, that's going down to the notepads, because that's a good idea. Chris Kelly says Cody Rhodes would be awesome. I'll draft Cody Rhodes, Chris Kelly. Chris Danger, IRL edition / DPW says Moonlight. Again, I don't have people downloaded, certain people downloaded, so we can't use certain people. Moving on to Josh 2 Chef. I'm going to need that Roman Reigns real quick. Well, we already got Roman Reigns. Benjamin says, Umaga, the Samoan Bulldozer, but we already got Umaga as well. Balls of the Purd says the Spartan Brandon Collins. I don't think I have Brandon downloaded. I don't believe I do on this save. I think I have Brandon downloaded on my other save. So sadly, we're not going to be able to draft the Spartan here today. The God of Thunder and Smoke says the King of Bros, Matt Riddle, a.k.a. just riddle me this or riddle me that. We're going to go ahead and grab a Riddle. Where is he at, as a matter of fact? NGS says the phenomenal AJ Styles, but we already got him. WR3D says Sasha Banks. All right, we'll go ahead and draft the boss. The boss. And you know what? Just because we haven't grabbed too many women yet, we'll go ahead and grab Liv Morgan as well from WR3D. Moving down, though, to Zyko. They say the Hardys with Lita. Sadly, only Jeff Hardy is in the game. So we're going to go ahead and grab Jeff Hardy. And they also said Freak Bobby if you nasty. But we can only grab one. So you want Kermit the Frog, Dangan. You want Kermit the Frog. You want Kermit the Frog. Oh my, we moving on. TBL, Dominic Dijakovic. I mean, well, I can give T-Bar. I can give T-Bar. I don't really got Dijakovic downloaded, but I can give you T-Bar. We'll get T-Bar. Macho Man Randy Savage. Ooh, yeah, says Jackson. So we'll go ahead and grab Randy Savage. Is he under the R's or the M's? I'm sure he's under the R's, but actually, no, he's under the M's. I lied. All right. Moving forward, WWE Figure Moment says, hey, look, everyone, it's Tyler. I go with Tyler Breeze plus Little Jimmy. Well, I mean, you know, I feel like Little Jimmy's always going to be here in our hearts, you know what I'm saying? So it's not really, you don't need to draft him, but Tyler Breeze has been drafted. Thitos says, I'd like to see Farouk. Well, damn, we drafted Farouk for you. Here we go. Let's go. Farouk has joined. Mayhem Maker says the Samoan Bulldozer, Umaga. We already drafted Umaga, though. Malone wants Undertaker 2010, but we already got Undertaker 2010. JCW says you need Dakota Kai, but we already got Dakota Kai. I'm not good at pronouncing names sometimes, and I'm not going to be able to pronounce this, and I don't want to butcher it, so we're going to try, though. Gianluigi says you need to draft the Tribal Chief, but we already got the Tribal Chief. We're going to move on, though, to Sahib? Did I mispronounce your name? If I did, I'm so sorry. I do apologize. I'm kind of stupid, let's be honest here. But they want Rey Mysterio, WCW. So we're going to go ahead and draft Rey Mysterio, WCW. We're going to go ahead and draft that Rey Mysterio Jr. And then Daniel on the next one says the Mysterios, which means a regular Rey Mysterio also needs to be drafted. Did I already? Well, I mean, they also kind of wanted Dominic Mysterio with that, so I'll go ahead and do that. You know, we'll just add a little bit more people. THW Wrestling says the Undertaker WrestleMania 36, which is different than the one that we've already gotten. So, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna go ahead and grab the Boneyard Undertaker. That's kind of crazy. Joshua says Jushin Thunder Liger. Well, Jushin Thunder Liger ain't in the game, and I can't go to CC for this, man. I'm so sorry. We're moving on, though, to Max, who says Simply Better AM, baby. But I already got Aaron in the draft, so we're going to move on to WWE Setup Cole. They said the Viper are Randy Orton. We already got the Viper are Randall Orton, so we're going to move on to WTF. Arch says Malachi Black, but again, we can't grab calls on this one. I do apologize. We're moving on to JB Gaming, who says, if you smell, look at the tongue, if you smell what The Rock is cooking. We'll go ahead and draft The Rock. DDE says main event Jey Uso. That's a big pick right there. That's a big pick. Main event Jey Uso going kind of crazy. Sawyer says get Yokozuna. Oh my God. Speaking of big picks, that's a big pick right there. Custom Figure Wrestling says Seth Rollins 20. Did I draft that one yet? No, I didn't. So we're going to have two sets in here. Stone Cold Steve Austin says, how about a little old HBK? So we're going to go ahead and draft Shawn Michaels. Yes, sir. We're going to go ahead and draft the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Alexa Bliss, the #1 Alexa Bliss fan, says to draft Alexa Bliss. So we're going to go ahead and draft Alexa Bliss, ladies and gentlemen. And I do believe that's going to actually wrap up our draft here today. I'll be doing more of these here in the future, so make sure once again you are subscribed to help me draft my roster in the future. Pay-per-view of The Sim is Money in the Bank, and Kevin Owens is headlining this show. So as we go into it, Edge has defeated The Undertaker. We got Jey Uso defeating The Miz. Chris Jericho defeats Cody Rhodes. I don't know why it's showing Corey Graves, but nevertheless, Chris Jericho does defeat Cody Rhodes. Sasha Banks defeats Liv Morgan to become the Raw Women's Champion. We got Seth Rollins defeating Samoa Joe. Phoenix Nitro defeats Aaron Matthews. You know what, man? I'm tired of this game always booking us against each other. That's crazy, bro. But you know what? I won, and that you know, I'm just, you can stick the crown up your ass. You know? All right, moving on. The Undertaker, WrestleMania 36, has defeated Macho Man. Oh, yeah. AJ Styles has defeated Rey Mysterio. Roman Reigns defeats John Cena to get that WWE Championship. In the main event of the evening, The Rock is Mr. Money in the Bank, ladies and gentlemen. That's a huge Money in the Bank ladder match as well, bro. Goodness gracious. As we head into the next month, it is time for WrestleMania Backlash, with AJ Styles being the cover star of this one. Moving on in, Nitro defeats Shawn Michaels. Oh, baby. That's dope, bro. Oh, my goodness. I love old man Shawn in this game. Dakota Kai is the Raw Women's Champion. Woo! Let's go! You love to see that, bro. You love to see that. Cody Rhodes defeats Chris Jericho. We got Kevin Owens defeating John Cena. Samoa Joe defeats Finn Balor. Aaron Matthews defeats The Rock. We got The Undertaker defeating Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns defeats Brock Lesnar in the main event of the evening. Rey Mysterio defeats AJ Styles. We are at Extreme Rules, and Dakota Kai is the cover star of this pay-per-view. So let's jump right on into it with Finn Balor defeating Brock Lesnar. We got Samoa Joe defeating Kevin Owens. Cody Rhodes defeats Chris Jericho. AJ Styles defeats Rey Mysterio. Aaron Matthews defeats Phoenix Nitro. We got The Undertaker defeating Seth Rollins. The Rock defeats Shawn Michaels. Roman Reigns defeats John Cena. In the main event of the evening, Dakota Kai defeats Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship. Omos is the cover star of SummerSlam. Are we about to get Omos and Roman? That'd be kind of crazy. Nevertheless, though, AJ Styles does defeat Seth Rollins. Alexa Bliss dethrones Dakota Kai. Whoop-de-doo. We got T-Bar defeating Cedric Alexander. Chris Jericho defeats Cody Rhodes. Aaron Matthews defeats Phoenix Nitro. Kevin Owens defeats Samoa Joe. Finn Balor defeats Brock Lesnar. Shawn Michaels defeats The Undertaker. John Cena defeats Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship. And in the main event of the evening, Jey Uso is your Intercontinental Champion defeating Omos. I love that title, man. That's a beautiful title right there, bro. That's a beautiful title. As we head into the month of August, week 4, it's time for Payback. With Alexa Bliss headlining, I hope Dakota Kai gets payback and gets her title back. It's to get your title back at a title max. Nevertheless, Finn Balor defeats Brock Lesnar. Samoa Joe defeats Kevin Owens. The Rock defeats Cody Rhodes. Phoenix Nitro defeats Aaron Matthews. I don't know why they book them against each other all the time, but you know what? That's kind of crazy. Jey Uso defeats Omos. We got Shawn Michaels defeating Chris Jericho. AJ Styles defeats Seth Rollins. John Cena defeats Roman Reigns. And in the main event of the evening, Alexa Bliss defeats Liv Morgan, retaining her Raw Women's Championship. And John obviously retained his WWE Championship. We're now heading into the month of September, and main event Jey Uso is the cover star of this one. As we head on in, it is Roman Reigns defeating Finn Balor. Alexa Bliss retains her Raw Women's Championship, defeating Liv Morgan. Samoa Joe defeats Cody Rhodes. We got Kevin Owens defeating Shawn Michaels. Then Phoenix Nitro defeats Chris Jericho. Edge defeats Aaron Matthews. Seth Rollins defeats AJ Styles. John Cena defeats Brock Lesnar. In the main event of the evening, Jey Uso, main event, baby, retains his Intercontinental Championship, defeating The Miz. Welcome to the month of October. Happy Halloween. It's time for Hell in a Cell, as John Cena is the cover star of this one. We move right on into Jey Uso retaining the Intercontinental Championship against The Miz. Moving forward, though, Cody Rhodes does defeat AJ Styles. Alexa Bliss defeats Dakota Kai in a Hell in a Cell match for the Raw Women's Championship to retain her title. We got Phoenix Nitro battling Aaron Matthews, with Phoenix Nitro picking up the win. Kevin Owens does defeat Samoa Joe in a Hell in a Cell match. Shawn Michaels defeats Chris Jericho. We got Brock Lesnar defeating Finn Balor. Seth Rollins defeats The Undertaker. In the main event of the evening, John Cena defeats Roman Reigns in a Hell in a Cell match to retain his WWE Championship. It's now time for Survivor Series, and who better to capitalize on that than the cover star of Shawn Michaels? I wonder if there's going to be a screw job here tonight. Nevertheless, we move into Shawn Michaels defeating Aaron Matthews in the opening contest. The Miz defeats Sami Zayn. Pete Dunne defeats Tyler Breeze. Alexa Bliss defeats Dakota Kai to retain the Raw Women's Championship. We got a huge 8-man battle royal that The Undertaker picks up the win in. We then have a huge 8-man elimination tag where the team of Oney Lorcan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Yokozuna, and Rey Mysterio Jr. defeat Cedric Alexander, Riddle, Umaga, and Akira Tozawa. Jey Uso defeats Omos to retain the IC title. Finn Balor defeats Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns is still your WWE champion, he won the title actually, defeating John Cena, so we got a new champion. And in the main event of the evening, Chris Jericho defeats Phoenix Nitro. Now, tell me why that was the main event. I don't understand. We've made it to the December pay-per-view. It's time for tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh my, with Roman Reigns as the cover star, we jump on into it. Shawn Michaels has defeated Kevin Owens in the opening contest. We got a triple threat match for the Raw Women's Championship. The Sasha Banks pulls out the win, defeating Dakota Kai and Alexa Bliss to become the new Raw Women's Champion. Aaron Matthews does defeat Cody Rhodes. We got a little old Stone Cold defeating Samoa Joe. Chris Jericho defeats Phoenix Nitro. Jey Uso defeats Oney Lorcan to retain that Intercontinental Championship. Finn Balor defeats Seth Rollins. Brock Lesnar defeats John Cena. And in the main event of the evening, Roman Reigns is still your WWE Champion by defeating AJ Styles in a TLC match. It's now time for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, and John Cena headlines this one as we jump on into it. To Seth Rollins defeating The Rock, we got Samoa Joe defeating Finn Balor. Aaron Matthews defeats Cody Rhodes. Alexa Bliss is the new Raw Women's Champion, defeating Sasha Banks. We got the 30-man men's Royal Rumble match. Whoa! Oney Lorcan is the new Intercontinental Champion, knocking off Jey Uso. We got Chris Jericho defeating Shawn Michaels. Roman Reigns defeats AJ Styles in a last man standing match. And in the main event of the evening, Brock Lesnar defeats John Cena. But who won the Rumble? Who won the Rumble? Who won the Royal Rumble? Was won by John Cena. It's time for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view as Roman Reigns headlines. Let's see what's going on here tonight as The Undertaker does defeat Samoa Joe. Yokozuna defeats Cody Rhodes. Oney Lorcan is still the Intercontinental Champion as he defeats Jey Uso. We got a huge 6-woman Elimination Chamber match, which features 2 women that weren't even drafted in Charlotte Flair and Shayna Baszler, but nevertheless, Dakota Kai is once again the Raw Women's Champion, so I'll allow it. Then again, we got Tyler Breeze defeating The Miz. Pete Dunne defeats Jeff Hardy. Kevin Owens defeats Phoenix Nitro. Aaron Matthews defeats Stone Cold Steve Austin. A little poetic if you ask me. We got Seth Rollins defeating The Rock. And in the main event of the evening, AJ Styles is your new WWE Champion. Oh my goodness. As we head into Fastlane, Oney Lorcan is the #1 cover star of this pay-per-view. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's going to happen here. As Seth Rollins defeats The Rock, Phoenix Nitro defeats Cody Rhodes. Dakota Kai defeats Alexa Bliss to retain that Raw Women's Championship. We got The Undertaker defeating Finn Balor. Yokozuna defeats Chris Jericho. A little old Stone Cold defeats Shawn Michaels. We got AJ Styles defeating John Cena to retain the WWE Championship. I hate that Universe Mode gives the March pay-per-view as the Royal Rumble win. Like, that don't make no sense to me. But nevertheless, Brock Lesnar does defeat Roman Reigns. And in the main event of the evening, main event, Jey Uso is your Intercontinental Champion again, winning the title back from Oney Lorcan right before WrestleMania. And ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the last show of this simulation of the chat pick, the subscriber pick, WWE 2K22 draft, and it is AJ Styles who is the cover star of this one as we move into The Rock defeating Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. That'd be a banger, bro. We got Phoenix Nitro defeating Chris Jericho at WrestleMania. Aaron Matthews defeats Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. Alexa Bliss wins back the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania from Dakota Kai. We got Tyler Breeze winning the Intercontinental Championship from Jey Uso. Cedric Alexander does defeat Roddy Strong. The Miz defeats Jeff Hardy. Edge defeats Kevin Owens. We got The Undertaker defeating Finn Balor. The Macho Man Randy Savage defeats Samoa Joe. The Undertaker defeats Yokozuna. Brock Lesnar defeats Stone Cold Steve Austin. Seth Rollins defeats Roman Reigns in the main event of the evening. AJ Styles defeats John Cena to retain that WWE World Heavyweight Championship. If I had to pick an MVP of this sim, I would simply take Jey Uso. Main event, Jey Uso was a reigning Intercontinental Champion for quite some time. He had that title longer than I think anybody else did in the sim. So I'm going to give the MVP status to Jey Uso. Who would you give the MVP of the sim status to? Comment down below. Let me know. But thank you guys so much for tuning into this one. And as always and forever, take it easy though, guys. Peace!